So we're going to start this a little bit different today. Got a couple things that I need to say, so run that intro. All right, so sorry this ain't the normal start to my video. Y'all know how I start the video, and this is going to be one of those exceptions. Y'all know me, those that have been around a while, we mostly stick to sports, right? And I'm going to give you a preview in this video, but there are times where I have stated my piece on social issues in the past. This is the only platform I have to do so, so I do so on this platform from time to time, rather in limited quantities. And it is what it is, because this is a football channel, and I try to keep things football, and I try to stay out of politics, and I try to stay out of this and that, because once again, this is a football channel, right? And I do plan on having a platform to speak on other issues on very soon, very, very soon. I have delayed for personal reasons, really, because I know some things are a little bit divisive, but it's something that I have to do, so it will get done, where I will have a platform talking solely about social issues and things like that. So look forward to that if you are into that type of thing. But since this is all I have for now, I have to say something, so give me a few minutes, all right? Charlie Kirk, as most of y'all probably have seen or heard by now, passed away a couple days ago, and I want to give condolences first and foremost to his wife, his two little kids, to his family, and everybody that knew and loved him and supported him. Condolences to all these people. All right, I want to make sure I get that out the way first. I've never met him, obviously, in person, but I knew who Charlie Kirk was. I was a fan, not necessarily a supporter, because I didn't watch all of his content or anything like that, but I was a fan of his. He and I, being that he was a Christian, believe what you want, right? Because I know some people probably don't believe he was, but I'm going based off of what he said and how he carried himself in conversation about Christ. So that's what I'm going off of. He was a believer in Christ, and I am as well. And we shared some of the same viewpoints. Not everything he said I agreed with, but there were a lot of things that he said that I genuinely agree with as a conservative Christian. All right. And that's what I am. I'm not a Republican, not a Democrat, but I am a conservative Christian. And those are the viewpoints that he shares. A lot of them I do agree with. So with that being said, right, I wanted to talk to my fellow Christians and remind my fellow Christians of something. Because what we've been seeing over the past couple days since his death, tragic death, assassination, maybe not assassination, but he was murdered. And I say maybe not assassination because they usually use those terms for actual political figures, meaning, people in Congress or people working for the state, things like that, like presidents, things like that. So maybe you don't want to call it that, but he was murdered. Okay. Point blank, period. By the way, having a voice that many didn't agree with. So because they didn't agree with him, they decided to do something about it and take him out of this earth, right? And this has led to backlash of the sympathy towards Kirk, and where people are saying, oh, well, why should I have empathy? Why should I have sympathy for him because he believed this? And others saying, you know what? I'm glad he's gone. I would have did it myself if I could have, blah, 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 so on and so forth, right? And, freedom of speech. You have the right to feel how you want to feel, right? Big believer in freedom of speech. And I understand that some people don't like him. And you have the right not to like him if that's how you feel, right? And I understand the world, right? Worldly people, carnal people, right? It's who I'm talking about. I understand them saying they are happy he's dead. But if there are any Christians out there, if you have joined in on any of that, you need to check your heart, okay? Deeply look inside yourself, all right? Because I'm going to remind you of this one thing, all right? In the Bible, okay, we go to the New Testament, Jesus is doing teachings. And in part of his teachings, all right, he says to love your enemy, pray for your enemy, and make sure, right, that you do not seek revenge on your enemy, all right? That's what the Bible says. Pray for your enemies. Pray for your enemies. All right? Love your enemies. If you see Charlie Kirk has an enemy, you ought to love him. You ought to love him. That is our job as Christians. I'm not putting that standard on the USA. All right? I'm putting that standard on Christians because we are the ones that set the standard for the US. All right. We are here to set the standard. And that's what we do. We are not of the world. We are set apart. All right. So we don't do as they do. We set the standard for what it should be. So even if you disagreed with everything he stood for, you thought he was a racist, a bigot, doesn't matter. When he passes, you show him the respect that God would want you to show him, and you show him compassion and you show him love, because even if he was your enemy, that's what God told us to do. That's what Jesus taught and preached, okay? That we love our enemies. So even if you saw him as that, and I don't, even if you saw him as that, you still ought to love him. That is your mandate. And if you are Christ-like, that is how you're supposed to live. Plain and simple. All right. So knock it off. Get out of your feelings. Whether you agreed with what he was saying or not does not matter when he dies. That doesn't matter. All right. And then I know I'm going to get on. All right. I'm moving on because some of you that aren't Christian could care less about what I'm saying. All right. And some of you that aren't Christian care deeply about what I'm saying, because even if you're not Christian, you're like, yes, I agree with you because you're a decent human being, right? And that's what it's all about at the end of the day as well. Last thing I'm going to say is y'all got to learn, all right, the people that have a problem with Charlie Kirk and because of that will not show him compassion, okay, and empathy in his family. Y'all got to learn the difference between hate speech and constructive speech. Okay, you've got to learn the difference between the two. There is a difference between hate speech and constructive speech. All right, and he was into constructive speech. All right, he was going to challenge your mind. All right, on issues that are taking place in America, that we all know are taking place in America. He was going to challenge your mind because he was there to debate you. All right. So if he's going to say something that sounds outlandish to you, that doesn't mean that it's hate speech. It just means that he's challenging your mind. All right. If people don't have the same viewpoint as you, they are challenging your mind. And it's either on you to say, oh, well, you know what? I've opened my mind to that and I can see that and I can be swayed. Or it's up to you to say, you're tripping. I believe what I believe. You can't sway me. And we let bygones be bygones. That's it. That's where it should stop. It shouldn't bring you to hate somebody because they don't agree with what you agree with. Where have we gone in this society to where we hate people because they disagree or because they don't agree with the same things we agree with, or they agree with what we agree, they disagree with what we agree with, right? Where have we gone as a nation where we'll kill somebody? We'll take them out. I'm not going to monetize this video. All right, so don't worry about it. Well, we'll take somebody out and rejoice that they're gone because we don't agree with them, or we feel like they're racist or bigot or homophobic or transphobic, whatever it is. Where have we gone? Where we'll rejoice that somebody took somebody out. All right. And I'm talking about Christians. OK, because I heard this when when President Trump got shot in the ear, that one, he did it himself. Right. He's the one that orchestrated the whole thing. That was one of the rumors going around. And then two, that they're happy. And oh, man, they wish that it would have hit its mark for real and he would have been gone. Christians saying these type of things. All right. I know what I've heard. All right. So I could also surmise that maybe there are Christians out there. I haven't heard it, and I don't know who is a Christian or not on these social media streets that are saying some of these heinous things. But I could surmise if they said that about Trump, that they're definitely saying it about Charlie Kirk, who was also a staunch Trump supporter. Okay. These things, they've got to stop from our community, from the Christian community, from the believer community, right? These things have to stop. We set the standard, not the world, not the people that are outside of our faith. We set the standard of what the moral should be, what our values should look like, and how we respond in these moments. We said it. It's on us. All right. Because that's what we were called to do. OK, so please get back in your word. All right. And allow it to penetrate you and operate in love. Even if you disagree with somebody, that's fine. Operate in love, because at the end of the day, for all those saying that I don't have nothing similar with this person, yes, you do. They bleed red just like you do. They need oxygen just like you do. They have all the same senses that you have as well. All right. And I'm not talking about the people that are senses deficient, where, blind, deaf. But I'm talking about in general. Right. We have the same senses. OK, and we all have an appointed time where we're no longer going to be here. There are similarities. All right. And there are plenty of them, if you would look past your hate. All right. So now, with that being done, let's get into this video. All right. And I went a little longer than I wanted to on that, but I have to talk about these things because it's very important that I let these Christians know, because the Christians, we have to be held accountable too. All right. And we have to be the ones to hold each other accountable. All right. And it's our job to do that, because when Cain, okay, and I'm going to say this last thing, when Cain was approached by God and God asked him, where's your brother Abel? What did he say? I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? All right. Taking a shot. Like, why are you asking me for? All right. It's on us to make sure that we keep our brothers and sisters in line. It's on us to do that. And that I'm part of that. All right. That's why I'm on this screen right now getting at y'all. We got to step up. We got to step up. We can't be a part of that. And when we see it, like I did, we got to say something. No, this ain't right. It ain't right. We're not going to sit here and rejoice when a son and daughter and a wife no longer have the person they were relying on. Okay? We're not doing that. All right? We're not doing that. Not our community. Let the others do it, because they are without Christ. Because if we do it, then we're saying that this is what Christ is about. And we know that's not true. All right, let's move on. We got this game coming up. All right, this is a preview. Now we're getting into the preview of the game on Sunday, 1 o'clock at our house. We got the Patriots coming in. Patriots, they ain't that good, but we ain't either, right? So this is probably the toilet bowl, but I'll save that for this is probably the pre-toilet bowl, because the true toilet bowl might not come till we play the Panthers, right? If we both 0-0, toilet bowl. All right, so I'll save it for that one. If we can't win up till then. But this game right here is a must win for us. We need this game. All right, now let's go over some of the knowns. Tua, undefeated against the Patriots. Never lost. McDaniel, I think he's also undefeated against the Patriots. Let's think about this. No. First year he was here with Tua was not playing. We lost, okay? So he's not undefeated against them, but Tua is. Tua so far is playing, all right? Vrabel, we're 0-for. All right, so Tua's undefeated against the Patriots, 0-for against Vrabel. Never beat him. So which one is going to win? Is it going to be the Vrabel or is it going to be Tua? Right? And I'm just saying Tua, I know it takes the whole team. I know, and for Vrabel, he doesn't even play anymore. It takes his team. I get all that. But I'm saying that because one of the records are going to have a loss next to it, meaning Tua's going to be either undefeated still, or he's going to have a loss, or Vrabel is undefeated against Tua, he's going to have a loss in that sense, right? The Dolphins, they had a player-only meeting. I don't know if they have this every week or not. Media's blowing it out of proportion. They say when you have a player-only meeting, especially this early, it usually means that the coach is about to get fired, right? So we'll keep our eyes peeled, all right? We have new hope this week because it's a new week. Yes, what happened last week stunk, and the stench stayed till about yesterday for me. All right, so I've been over it since Sunday, but I am moving past that now, and I'm ready to see what the Dolphins look like on Sunday, because they could come out and they could be a lot better. Mac Hollins, I've had an interview. He said, "Hey, sometimes you man, they were sorry last week, and you think that's how it's gonna be for the rest of the year, and then the team comes out and they look completely different. That could happen. All right, doubt it, but it could happen." Okay, so we got to keep our minds open to the possibility of the Dolphins righting some wrongs. All right, now here's what they can't right: injuries. The Miami Dolphins, the list ain't that long, but it's alarming. Storm Duck, out. Austin Jackson, out. That means Kendall Lamb is probably going to be up for this game. He better be. Benito Jones, out. Darren Waller, out. Ethan Bonner, doubtful. We already are losing Storm Duck. Ethan Bonner seems like he won't play. Jalen Wright, doubtful. Then Ashton Davis, okay, with his knee injury, limited, questionable. So we're going to be missing a lot of DBs if Ashton Davis also can't play. And we're already razor thin there. And Jalen Waddle, who had a shoulder injury, practiced full Friday. He's available, okay? So we have an injury issue. And then just to cover all my bases, Patriots, Christian Gonzalez, out. The Tua killer, out. That's good for us. Is this Keon or Keelan? Keon White, defensive end, out. All right, I'm not too sure who that is. Don't know him that well. Marty Mapu, I hope I'm saying that right. He's questionable. And Morgan Moses, tackle, is questionable. Everybody else is good to go. All right. When it comes to injuries, if we could score the injuries, Christian being out, I mean, that's a big one. Christian Gonzalez, that's a big one. But we're missing too many. We're missing too many DBs. We're missing way too many DBs. And we're missing our starting right tackle, who is the blind spot for Tua. We took the L there. Okay. Now, let's go offense, defense, and on both sides. Our offense, anemic, trash. All right. We got to get going. Hopefully this week we could do it because Christian Gonzalez ain't playing, right? We've got to get some explosives. Tua and Tyreek have got to get on the same page somehow, some way. Tua's got to stop throwing the ball over too. Okay. Running game, we got to stick to it. Let's find out what we got. Okay. We ran well when we ran last week. It's not like we ran for, 5 yards a pop every time we touched the rock, but we ran well. Achane did his thing, and hopefully we'll see a little more Ollie Gordon because it looks like Jalen Wright ain't playing. So hopefully we have more possessions because we was giving the ball away too much last week. Offensive line looks like on the right side because we know James Daniels is already out for at least 4 weeks. They're gonna play Borum. And then hopefully at tackle, they're going to play Lamb. All right? Liam is not back yet. Otherwise, he'd probably be there at right guard. So we'll see what happens with the offensive line, but we got to get the ball out fast. We just got Vrabel knows how to play Tua. All right, we got to get the ball out fast. Wide receivers got to step up. We know I already mentioned Tyreek Hill. Waddle, he's got to step up this week. We need Malik to show up this week. Eskridge, hopefully, he can run one back for us and help us with points because we need them. We need all the help we can get. And then on the defensive side, guys just got to put their heart into it. Where's your heart at? You got a front seven like that and y'all allowing you allowing Daniel Jones to look like Peyton Manning? Are you serious? You allowing him to look like Andrew Luck? Are you serious? What's going on? Daniel Jones? Nah, not Daniel Jones. Nah, I know. These New York quarterbacks go to other teams and they start looking like something. All right, and that's a trend across the Jets and the Giants. But Daniel Jones? Anyway, this week we got Drake May. Drake May can run, and he a decent passer. We got a problem on our hands with him. They also have Stephon Diggs, Dolphin killer. All right. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know if they were there at the same time. Doubt it. No, if they weren't there. I doubt it. I don't think so. Rasul Douglas, I don't know if he was there at the same time. I doubt it. He going to have to run around with Diggs. Like, he going to have to shadow him. Now, I don't know what else they got on there for wide receivers. I'm pretty sure they got some decent ones. But Stephon Diggs is still good enough to whoop our behind. So we can't let that happen. Front seven, because make a run, you can't just go guns blazing at the man. You got to take your time. Close the pocket in so he can't escape out the pocket and get your sacks. Make sure you're making tackles. All right, I'm not sure who their starting running back is. Don't care. We got to shut them down. All right. When it comes to their defense, I expect them to be sound. Vrabel don't play no games. All right. So they're going to be sound on defense, meaning they're going to try and shut the run down and they ain't going to let us get no deep stuff. So we better get creative in how we're going to get our playmakers the ball in space. All right, I don't want this video to be too long. Told y'all the injuries. I explained offensive, defensively what we got to do in a sense, right? Here's how I see this game kind of going. This ain't going to be no high-scoring affair, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I got this game finishing somewhere around 16-10, all right? And I got us winning. We're going to win this game 16-10, Low scoring affair. Our defense finally gonna show up, but they offense just gonna make mistakes. And we're gonna find a way to eke this one out. All right? It's gonna be one of them 3 field goal days and a tutty from somewhere. Might not even be on offense. Might be a scoop and score on defense. Might be special teams. I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Y'all already know what it is. Fins up till we die. Christians, do better. Love y'all. I'm out.